Hi, Collective. Welcome back for another channeled message of what Spirit wants you to know right now. If you're new, thank you so much for being here. If you're turning star family, how you doing? It's your girl, Cosmic Bestie, your mystical intuitive, and we're going to dive into the energies. Be sure to hit the like button so you dive into the energies with me. All right, y'all. So this message this evening, this morning, at whatever time this is happening upon you, this is not going to resonate with everybody. Okay, many are called, few are chosen. And if you land upon this video, whatever timeline you're on, past, present, future, there's a message in it for you. Okay. All right. So we've been focused more on relationships lately, but right now I'm being called to talk a lot about like what's coming in the future, on a macro level and a micro level. Okay. So if you resonate with terms like STARSEED, gate or Stargate, Pleiadian, Lyrian, Orion, Andromedan, Arcturian, those sorts of terms, all right, there may be a message in it for you. So I got to tread lightly here, and I'm going to try to speak in terms that you understand. However, it's not going to affect how it is that I get in front of people, if that makes sense. Okay, because like I said, hi y'all, how you doing? Welcome. Thank y'all so much for being here. Like I said, I'm gonna tread lightly. However, I had this dream last night, and it has a lot to do with like the future, AI type of stuff, right? And there's all this fear mongering going on about different wars in all different types of ways. Okay, this goes in many aspects of our life. This conflict that's going on. Now, if you resonate with ascension, all right, or with 5D and 3D, I'm thinking in terms where, like, I'm trying to talk to people who probably already know what I'm talking about, but I know that I'm supposed to be in front of people who may be a little bit scared to either dig in a little bit deeper into this topic, into this subject, or if you're feeling called and you're not sure, what direction is it you're supposed to take, or if you're not quite sure what you're being asked to do, or you just feel cringe being in your own energy, but you know that you're of this, or you're in this world, but not of it. You know that you're look up to the stars and you're connected to something out there, right? I know you're picking up what I'm throwing down. How are you always protected? How do you always know not to go down that way, right? Have you ever been late somewhere and then you find out there was a car accident, and if you've been in that spot at that time, you may not be here right now. You have a purpose. There's a reason why you're here. And it's bigger than you think. And this time right now, under this mass awakening that's going on, you're being called to step up. Quit being scared. The world needs you. The natural world needs you. Why are we calling it things like new age? Isn't that another way of saying new world? Are we really looking in between the lines? Are we really looking beyond the veil? I'm starting to notice things and experience things that are showing me that things are about to hit the fan in many different ways, right? And if we're experiencing on the 3D already, it's happening in the 5D right now. It's already happened. We know that this conflict is coming. We can feel it. We know that we're being tested right now. We're not stupid, right? We've just been gaslit. Our spirit is screaming at us. Y'all are connected to the all that ever was and the all that ever will be. This AI that it is that we're scared about, who built it? We did. What are we going to teach it to do? We have 13.5 billion years of DNA stored in our bodies. How the hell is this shit going to catch up to us? What are we using it for? Right? We're the ones building it. What do we want to teach it to do? We got to be smarter. We got to wake up. So I'm talking to the Neos and the Trinities out there, right? A lot of y'all have felt so alone. You've been betrayed. You've been left behind. I'm talking to the black sheep, black wolf, whatever the label you want to put on it, how that resonates with you. You understand that there's truth in all religions, but no one religion holds all truths. You're starting to see the similarities between a lot of these things, and a lot of us are wanting the same things, right? Change is here, and you're part of this revolution. We're exiting the age of Pisces, right? The fish, Christ consciousness, right? We talk about Jesus and his teachings. He wasn't telling it straight as day. He had a hit out on his life, right? He had to speak in analogies. You had to look deeper into the words and terms that it was that he was using, you know? There's much more information there. There's a reason why there's so much missing from us. A lot of us are saying the same things. And there's stories and information and stuff that's been edited and taken out and hidden from us for a very long time. But we're starting to remember. Not know, not learn, remember who we are and what we're here for. We're starting to come across each other here in the physical plane, even though we've known each other for lifetimes, right? We're starting to recognize each other on an energetic vibration when we come into contact with each other. There's a lot of your spiritual abilities that are going to be enhancing during this time. It's almost like a software update, because this is our computer, right? You're getting updated. I'm getting a lot of messages about there is some sort of union that's like orbiting around you, okay? And like I said, you're starting to come into contact and build connections with people who are more like you. And it's because you're not afraid to stand in your own authentic energy and not align with ideals and conform to other people's opinions on what's going on, right? I'm in the United States. We're supposed to be the United States. Why are there two parties and then the middle ground? Like, what? That's not united. That's separated. Why do you think they did that? Just saying. Why do you think that they want all of us to look at the television programming, right? Instead of going within. The DNA is right here. The information is right here. Right? All right. I have a little bit of a pre-shuffle, so we're going to get into some of these cards. All right, y'all with me? Y'all feeling it? Thank y'all for being here, by the way. I'm sending all that love and light back to you, times 10. All right, Starseeds. So we have the Akashic Records here. So a lot of y'all are clearing old stories, releasing past lies, and freedom. Okay? A lot of y'all's trauma that it is that you're releasing. You've been doing 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. It's all coming together like steps. I'm telling you, you better listen. You better listen to me. A lot of y'all already feel this. You know exactly what it is I'm saying. You've been feeling it for a long time. But you're remembering past lives. You're coming into contact with people that you've lived with, that you have these soul contracts with. Okay? And this is about freedom, sovereignty, freedom of this right here, because this is what it is that wants to be controlled. Think for yourself. Question everything. Take a deeper dive. It's okay to be a little bit curious and ask questions. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Asking questions, lots of questions. And not trust necessarily what you see with these eyes. It's a lot about feeling with your body. Yo, I went to the pool the other day, and it was my oldest daughter and I. She's 12, and I was washing clothes, and we were getting ready to go somewhere out of town. So we decided to run to the pool. And we get there, and I got this just odd feeling. And I wasn't really sure why I felt so odd. There was an older woman, like a grandma and her granddaughter, and a younger man that was there just laying out. And I usually go to the corner and say, I got a spot. So we go around the pool to go to our spot. We get our stuff set up, and I look up and I recognize this person, but I can't remember where I recognize this person from. So whatever, daughter hops in the pool. I get set up because I'm there to lay out. Y'all know. Okay. Anyway, so all of a sudden I get the shakes, and I'm like, hold up, chick. Why are we all nervous and stuff? Like, what's going on? So I'm just like situation awareness, right? I'm started looking around like, what the hell's going on? So then all of a sudden I get comfortable, and I hear this man breathing, y'all. Like, it made me cringe. I felt extremely uncomfortable. So I look over at my daughter, and she seems to be okay. Like, she's freaked out, but she's like, and I don't want to like make a big scene about this. I'm just aware. Like, I'm just observant. I'm taking it all in. Okay. I'm listening to my body. My body is reacting to something that my eyes are not seeing. Does that make sense? Anyway, so I turn around where I'm like laying face down like this, but my head's facing this way. I've got a hat on. So he can't see my eyes, but I'm looking at my daughter. Okay. And she looks up at me and we make eye contact. And she says, Mom, are you ready to go? And that's all I knew. I was just waiting on her to say it because I could feel it. By the way, 2 minutes before she said that, there was this hawk and it wouldn't stop cawing. And hawks are our protective energy for me. So anyway, I look up. When I looked up and saw this guy, anyway, it was because the hawk was cawing, and I looked up and then looked right down, and there he was, right? Like spirit was trying to tell me, like, predator, look, you know? So anyway, we packed up our shit and we left and we came home and we talked about it, right? And then but I'm telling you to listen to everything in my body was telling me that something was wrong, right? Your body tells you things that your eyes can't necessarily see. So there's a lot about like this listening to your body. What is your body saying? A lot of these connections that it is that y'all are coming into are the ones that you're leaving behind, right? They kept you in a state of confusion or conflict. A lot of y'all are getting out of connections like that, but you're coming into unions that are here to help build you, and you're helped to build them. They're here to help you for something bigger than yourself. And y'all, we've got to stop getting so far into our loneliness that we feel like we have to have another person to make us whole, right? Protect this. Quit laying with everybody. That is sacred. We got the seed in the womb. What are we leaving behind, right? The legacy, our children, their children. We got to think smarter and quit giving in to these temporary pleasures and unfulfilling things. It's not productive. It's brain rot, right? All right. Soul star activation, fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are. Yes, that's what we just said. You remembering who you are. This ain't your first rodeo. You've been here before, and you're picking up where you left off. And your ancestors, your spirit team, those cosmic beings that watch over you and protect you, that speak to you, that guide you, they're incredibly proud of you for not becoming like people who have traumatized you. Because I know I'm talking to a group of people where like if you have you have paranormal experiences, I know you do. There was another one, right? It was yesterday afternoon. It was on the way home. And y'all, this stuff happens to me all the time that like, it just is just like, I just notice it. I'm just aware. I don't even call it out anymore. I'm just taking it all in. I've learned, don't open your mouth about it because people just don't get it. But I let other people around me call it out first. And then I don't even really speak on it even then. I'm just like, yeah, kind of weird, isn't it? You know, just kind of give them a little wink. Yeah. But I'm crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm the one that's the Lulu. And it's kind of like y'all get into astrology and things like that. There's a reason why, right? The sun has an effect on this earth for a reason. It is our life force. The moon controls our tides. And if we're made up of all this water, of course it's affecting us. So is there some rule that says the other planets and star systems don't have some sort of energetic effect on our planet? No. Right? Why can't we believe in fucking Wi-Fi working? We can't see that. But we can't believe in energetic forces of planets bigger than our own. We're little specks floating on a rock, you know? Of course it's affecting us. Learn your charts. It'll be eye-opening. Another thing I'm getting is like this royal bloodline. You'll need to look into like how like personality traits and things like that are in your DNA, right? Every little group of DNA has like their own little codes that it is, right? And those codes are here to kind of help us integrate that into the planet, into this interconnectedness. Can you not see how they're trying to separate us in every single type of way? Religion, race, skin color, eye color, trends, you know, right? Why is it that 38-year-old man is having to work 4 jobs to pay for self? Make that make sense. The only thing like we're paying for shit like water, that's a natural resource. Vegetables that come out of the ground that we walk on? What? Make it make sense. Now they're legalizing certain herbs. That's going to go here soon. Y'all know it is. As much as you hate to hear it, that's the truth. We've got to be sober. We got to be clear-minded, right? All these altering things is keeping us in a state of confusion, and we're staying distracted. We're not focused on what needs to be focused on, and it's done by design. Some of the strongest people are strong because they're smart. They know not to give up. And I know I'm talking to a group of people where you have been through so much, lifetimes of bullshit, lifetimes of rejection, of betrayal, of feeling alone. But there's a reason for that. You don't mesh with everybody, and you weren't meant to. You were rare. Everybody wants what they don't have, but they'll also talk trash about it because they can't obtain it. You cannot compete where you do not compare. Remember who the fuck you are, y'all. You're amazing. You're special. You are sacred, and you're here for a reason bigger than yourself. So that's the biggest message here tonight is if you feel called to speak up, use your voice. Truth speaker. Way shower. Right? You are here to lead. You're the one who's meant to carve the path. And yes, it's a lonely fucking road. But it's like Forrest Gump. Before you know it, you're going to look behind you and you got a whole damn tribe. And they trust you because of your self-assurance, because you know, like the sun is coming up tomorrow. You know, not believe. Big difference. A lot of y'all are starting to be more confident in who you are. Not arrogant, confident. That's another huge deal, right? Confidence, at least you know that it's a possibility that you're not going to obtain it. You know that you're capable of it. And you give yourself a chance to go for it, whether it happens or not, right? A lot of y'all are mastering the art of detachment. A lot of y'all are mastering things like law of attraction, law of assumption. You know, you're really studying those universal laws. You're taking a deeper dive into the connectedness of it all, right? You're all of it, but you're none of it. That says right here. As below, or as above, so below, so within, as without, connections to heaven and earth through the stargate of your heart. You did not become like the people who have traumatized you. Good for you. You were rare. And people are going to be drawn to you. Of course, they're going to get, all up close. And then when they see that you truly are who you say you are, of course they're going to reject that. They don't know what that is. They're surface level. They cannot understand. I'm even hearing compute, right? This was about a software update. You know, STARSEED are getting their software update and all this AI. 13.5 billion years of information stored in your DNA. That's science, y'all. That's science. It ain't no woo-woo, hocus-pocus bullshit. You know, not that the hocus pocus stuff is bullshit. I'm just saying, you know, some people aren't even good with stuff like that. Y'all ever seen a group of prayer warriors get together? How powerful that is, of all that energy being focused on one intention. That's incredible. Some of y'all may be experiencing maybe a little bit of things like telekinesis, okay? Like things with lights flickering, lots of lights flickering, or technology being weird. Oh yeah, y'all, like today I tried to post a video on YouTube and it said blocked globally. I said, that's exactly how the fuck I feel right now. I feel like I got all this shit to say, all this truth to share, all this light, you know, to shine, and I'm blocked globally. Of course I would be. You know, no, fuck that. I'm gonna find another way. I'm gonna go another route. I don't care if 3 people see that. If it touches one person and they awaken to their purpose and it pushes them into the confidence of doing what it is that they really want to do, then boo-boo, I'm here for it. I'm here to be your cheerleader. Because it wasn't easy for me either. If y'all go to my first page that I started ever for this information right here, I was trembling in my boots, y'all. Had terrified to be on camera. Terrified of it. And in 5 years, I've come such a long way that it's taken a lot of effort, a lot of getting over myself, a lot of shedding that ego, you know, a lot of not giving a fuck what anybody else says or thinks because I know that that's not true. You know, I read tarot. I talk to freaking rocks. I hug trees. I go outside in the middle of the night and I be dancing out in my damn yard like a crazy person. I get it, but it resonates with me. That is me. I'm being authentic in that moment. And you know what? It's really liberating and I ain't going back. Right? Y'all are learning to master the art of saying no. No is a full fucking sentence. Right? You're having those boundaries. You're not people pleasers anymore. I just did a reading on that. You're good people. You're not nice people. Nice people lie. Right? To save face is that mask. You're learning tactful ways of just telling it like it is. And yes, that's going to ruffle some feathers because not everybody does that. Again, darling, you're rare. Like a diamond. But you're a diamond that's been hidden in plain sight. And now that the sun is shining, it is your time to make yourself known. That's another one, a big message that it is that I've been getting lately too. It's like, what you become aware of is aware of you, whether it's spoken into the physical or not. A lot of y'all, I got a big download about a lot of y'all have been doing your dialogue, right? Talking to yourself. Those of you that have been trying to break out of that shell so you can be your authentic self because you feel called to do so. You're sick of being fake. You're sick of dumbing yourself down, right? Some of y'all are sick of feeling like you have to sell your soul for stuff. You know how hard it is to sit up here and you see like some chick over there and all she had to do was pull her shirt down and show some damn cleavage and she could pay her bills for 6 months, right? It's easy to give in to that. That's the easy way. You were not made for easy. You're not easy. You're complex. You're multifaceted. You're the real deal, the real McCoy. You're not the cubic zirconium. You're the diamond, baby. Shine bright. Akashic Stargate, align with purpose. A lot of y'all you're stepping into some sort of purpose. I don't know what purpose that is. That looks like many different things. Some of y'all are speakers. Some of y'all are writers. Some of y'all are artists. Some of y'all are musicians. What is your gift? Don't you ever let anybody tell you not to express yourself using your gift. Some of y'all are extremely intuitive and people tell you that that's demonic or it's wrong. No, it's not. That was gifted to you to use for your own discernment, right? It's your spiritual tools. Hi, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Sword of light, divine protection, cords cut, breakthrough energy. A lot of y'all are connected to things like angels, okay? Or cosmic beings, whatever term you want to put on it, okay? But I'm talking more about like Saint Michael, the archangel, right? A defender of the underdog, of light, of knowledge, of truth. And there's a lot about we need to be more focused on connection rather than separation because we're stronger together. Technically, here in the flesh, on this 3D realm, we're all the same damn species. What are we blowing each other up for? Make it make sense. It don't. Breakthrough energy. A lot of y'all have had tower moments, right? I'm seeing the tower moment or the tower card in tarot, right? You spent all this time building this tower. And then you're hit with situations where it's like ripped out from under you. All the shit that you built, all this time, love, energy, effort, money you poured into something, whether that's yourself, a project, a career, a relationship, it's constantly being snatched out from under you. But it's not breaking you. It's not your breakdown, it's your breakthrough. The key is at the middle of that tower, and you're being asked to rebuild with authenticity. Because the towers that you were building before still had, that layer of syntheticness to it. Does that make sense? And it's not like you ain't done this before. The worst has already happened. You're prepping for something bigger coming. So get out of the past. Be in the present moment. The only moment that matters is the present moment. It's the only moment that exists. The past doesn't matter anymore. It's not here. Only in a memory. That's why it's a mind fuck. That's why it's messing with you. It's only up here. Release it. At least for a moment to be in this one. Anxiety, that's the future. Get out of the future. The only way we're going to control the future is being right here in this moment. This is where we manifest it, right? All right, let me pull some more cards. Thank y'all for being here, by the way. If you're digging my vibe, don't forget to follow. I'm also on Instagram and YouTube. Share with friends if you think that they'll resonate with the message here. All right, Spirit, that's nice messages. So now all that love and light back to you times 10. All right, Spirit. Pleiadian energy. Yeah, you may resonate with like Pleiadian. Coming together, harmony in the heavens, and resolution. If you feel like you're here on a double mission, or maybe you don't know that yet. A lot of y'all are healers. What is a healer? Healers don't go around to heal other people. They heal themselves, and they teach other people, or they have insight and knowledge, or they trigger other people to heal themselves. That's a double mission. So while you're healing you and focused on you, you're radiating this energy out into the, y'all, energy is real. Thoughts are energy. You know, a lot of y'all are mastering that, staying in that higher vibration. And this is not, don't get confused with toxic positivity, right? It is important for us to sit with, like, especially when we're going through hardships. You know, a lot of y'all are going through big life changes. You know, deaths are happening, endings are happening, career changes, jobs are being lost, you know. Divorces are happening, lots of separations, families being split apart, right? It's tough. It's hell on earth, right? You're here to make heaven on earth. It's all right here, happening all at the same time. All right, Spirit, that's nice message, right? You can do it. You're capable. You have 13.5 billion years of information stored in your DNA. You're so much more powerful than you get credit for. And people wanted you to underestimate yourself. That's something I've learned, y'all. I've always been underestimated. I am weird. I am 5 foot tall, right? I look like I'm 13, you know, like my growth's got stunted, right? I'm never going to get any bigger. I talk funny. I'm mixed with a lot of different nationalities. You know, I'm a conundrum, and I have a Southern accent because I landed here in BFE, Mississippi, right? Like, but I'm meant to be all these diverse things because I'm meant to speak to a diverse group of people, right? We are hybrids in this new energy, this new shift that it is that we're coming into in this ascension process. And it's going to be the people who are not attached to certain things like this new age. It's not a new age. It is, but it's not, if that makes sense. And by the way, we're kind of moving backwards. Have you ever noticed that? Like in the zodiac wheel, it's Aquarius and then Pisces. But as we shift into this age, we're actually going backwards on the zodiac wheel. A lot of y'all may be resonating with things like energy centers or chakras, things like that, Reiki energy. Give me some more. What else is here? A lot of this Stargate energy, Stargate heart chakra opening, unlocking generosity. This is what we manifest with the heart chakra. Right? If you got a bad heart, if you don't have love for yourself, how are you supposed to manifest? We can only love others to the extent that we love ourselves. So if you can't even show yourself love, how do you really love other people? I am you and you are me. We are all one. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are computers. All right, Spirit. Not in a robotic type of way. Don't come for me in the comments, okay? Don't be silly. Be woke. Not the kind of woke everybody else is woke. You know what I'm talking about. I know you're picking up what I'm throwing down. Go a little deeper, okay? Earth Star activation, anchoring, grounded action, Isis energy. You're being asked to anchor into your purpose, anchor into yourself. Right? We're constantly being asked to look outside of ourselves for everything. But if God's source universe is in everything, He's in you. It's in you. Whatever term you want to put on it, okay? I ain't getting all caught up in the specifics of that. Everybody has their own term for it, and that's okay. All right, Spirit. We are coexisting here. Give me a few more from this deck, and then we'll move along. Hi, y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank y'all for the gifts. Thank y'all for the follow-ups and all that love and light back to you times 10, times 10, times 10, times 1,000. May you be prosperous for thousands of years to come. Okay, we have Venusian Galactic Council, Star Being Guides. Answer the call. Time to shine. That's right. Let that light shine. Don't you ever let anybody dim that light. What is that light? That's your inner spirit, right? You're so free-spirited, and that's by design. You were meant to be. You're meant to inspire other people to be free-spirited as well, right? These are the free thinkers of the world. That's you, boo-boo. Venusian, lots of this Venus energy. Again, with the Pleiadian energy. And look at that. That's your star body. That's your light body. You are sacred. You are angelic. You are ancient. 10 times more powerful than you give yourself credit for. Take the reins back over your own life, okay? Be the Utridge and the Khaleesi's of the world and break the shackles off your own wrist. Quit taking no for an answer and start saying no to people. What else is here? And if you've done that already, good for you. That's just spirit letting you know that that's been recognized, okay? Your ancestors, your spirit team, your guardian angels, whatever labels you want to put it on it, is showering you with praise from the celestial realms. Shambhala initiation, retreating to recharge, trust in the process, Dharma. Yeah, a lot of y'all are learning to trust the process. There's too many experiences that it is that you're having to not trust it. There's no denying it. A lot of y'all are learning that you don't have to tell everybody that you know what just happened. That weird, funky experience that you just had. It's not meant for everybody. And that's okay. We're accepting that. Doesn't take away from us. Right? And that's that too. The more success that it is that you gain in the seasons to come, because you're getting into alignment, right? Especially if you've been here for a while. The more that you come into alignment with these things, the more success that you get, the more that you're going to see what little orbits around you, the people around you, are going to start dropping like hot flies. They're not going to be supportive, right? A lot of these people, yeah, they loved you when you were doing good, but not when you start doing better than them. And that's what the kicker is. You're not in competition with anybody. You're only in competition with who you were yesterday, right? You're just trying to better yourself. And people seem to be jealous of that, right? Or they're going to be. They can't seem to give themselves permission to do that for themselves. All right, let's move decks. Take some of these moon. Somebody work with the moon, lunar cycles, or maybe you know your moon sign. It's about phases of the moon. That's another thing. If you're coming up with these new ideas, you're trying to try something out and you're not really sure about something, give it a moon phase. Give it a moon phase before you make a decision on whether or not you're going to keep investing into it or are you just going to pull the cord on it. I don't know who that's for. I don't know what it's about. Okay. Could be just side note. What else is here, Spirit? That's my message here for the collective. Give it to me straight. Here we go. Have faith in your dreams. Waxing crescent moon. Have faith in your wildest dreams. You've got to be your own number one fan, y'all. Those of you that are like making these big ass changes in your life, okay? Those of you that are gaining confidence to really find your voice and share something, share your experiences, share a gift, you know, whoever it is I'm talking to when it comes to that. You got to be your biggest fan. You got to set the bar of how people are going to treat. I'm hearing Imagine Dragons, that song, Thunder. You've been overlooked, like just beat down for so long. This is your season. This is your season. Being called, step up, and you will be rewarded beyond your wildest dreams here. Balance spirituality and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. We have this Piscean energy here, or Piscean energy. A new start is coming. I told you. I told you. Now I'm hearing that Randy Travis song. I told you so. Amos, if you want to graduate, you'll graduate, baby. You know that. You know that. If you really want to graduate, you will. How much effort is willing to be put into graduating? What you focus on expands. So if you're focused on graduating, it'll happen. God, source, universe, whatever that looks like for you, is matching that frequency, matching that energy. Thoughts are energy. We take action on that, right? If we're manifesting things into the reality, right? I'm seeing somebody like, okay, this is an analogy that I use. Have you ever seen someone go to build a house? You just have the idea of building the house first, right? The want. What do? You get your credit score right. You go buy that plot of land, right? You start investing into it. But it started with an idea. Then you wrote it down on paper. Then you took action. Do you see what I'm saying? It's using all the elements, air, fire, water, and earth to bring these things about. It's alchemy. Those of you that have been in really shitty situations and you ended up making it better, right? You alchemized pain into something that you could profit from or benefit from, right? That's magic. That's all magic is. It's being able to alchemize shit. Being able to turn those lemons that life gives you into the lemonade. You know how to spin it around and make it benefit you rather than sitting and being a victim of it. Or that's what you're being asked to do right now, right? This is like a little brain nugget for you, like kind of, and it may not make sense right now. It could be 3 weeks and it's going to just be like, phew. That's what Leo was saying. That's what it was she was trying to tell me. Give me a few more. Surrender to the divine. That's right. It's time for you to let go. God, source, universe, whatever that looks like for you. Leap, you go first. The universe will catch you. It's your time. If you knew that you would be supported in anything, if you already knew you would win, overcome every challenge that was thrown at you, what would you be doing? Who would you be? What would you be putting out into the world? Full moon in Taurus. Yes, it is time to detoxify. Okay, some of y'all may be eating healthier, or I'm taking a lot of water, like water cleansing your energy. If you're new here, some ways that you can energetically cleanse. Like y'all see people smudging all the time, right? Do different smudges. You can do cleansing baths, right? Stand over the shower and visualize all the it going, being showered off of you and down the drain. You know, there's other ways you can just sit there and visualize it. You can just speak it out into existence, right? Do you know how powerful your words are, right? I know y'all have heard it before. Spelling. We're spelling it out into existence. Words have power. There's a reason why people used to go around and chant, sticks and stones may break my wounds, but words may never hurt me. That is a protection chant. It's a protection ritual. You're speaking it. You're commanding it. All right, give me a few more. Break the shackles off your own wrists. Give yourself permission to be free. It is your birthright. No matter where you came from, you here on this planet, right now, the time you're watching this, you have a birthright to be free and to be able to speak up and to have basic needs met, right? New moon in Scorpio. It's time to go deeper. Yeah, y'all know how to go deeper beyond surface level bullshit. You ever watch somebody lie through their teeth, said all the right things, smiled right in your face, but you felt the undertone. You felt the shift in the energy. You could tell the difference in the mannerisms, the way their eyes shift, the pauses that they take. It was a lie, right? A lot of y'all are. Y'all are becoming so intuitive and you're spot on. Trust that. Trust that knowing. Not necessarily what you see, not necessarily what it is that you hear in the physical. What are you getting energetically from yourself, from spirit, using your discernment? Y'all, there's a lot about learning how to read energy. A lot of that coming in. That's why all these like symbols of certain things are important to learn. The symbolism of numbers and their meanings, right? Numerology, astrology, what all the different energies mean in the houses. That way when the transits happen, you know what house means what, you know what planet, when it's coupled, what that can possibly, bring about, right? Astrology is predictions. But if you know the energy, you can predict that for yourself, right? You're putting the control back into you. And that's what it is I'm here for, y'all. I'm just here to share. I'm just here to share. I'm not really a teacher. I'm still a student. And I'm sharing what it is that I've learned in my experiences. All right, what else is here? I will never claim to know it all. Because I don't. I want to. Right? I want to know it all. Y'all ever seen like My Stepmother's an Alien? Where she goes and she puts her arm in the book and then all of a sudden, or like Neo when he gets plugged up to the thing and all of a sudden he knows like jujitsu and shit. He could drive a damn car. Trinity can man a damn helicopter. I mean shit, what if? The possibilities. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. All right, we've got expect powerful change. Yep. Right? That's everything that we've been asking for is this big change. Well, here's change. You are the change. Be bold and make the first move. Yeah, there's a lot about fortune favors the bold, okay? What you focus on expands. And when you take a risk, when you have that childlike belief in something, y'all remember waking up, Santa Claus, those of you that grew up with Santa Claus, or the Tooth Fairy, or whatever, the little myths, the little stories that it is that you used to believe in when you were a child. When you believe in something like that as an adult, the universe still backs it up. It don't know the difference between adult and child. It doesn't look at you like that. You're ageless. You're timeless. Anything is possible. Give me a few more. That's a nice message here. Thank y'all so much for being here, y'all. I appreciate it. I'm usually talking about love and relationships. I don't usually go this deep, but I've been really called to share this message with y'all. Those of you that feel like you're here for a reason, if you believe in destiny and fate, nothing will come of the situation void of course moon. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of conflict, people who are throwing you ish. It's not gonna manifest. You may experience a little bit of different things in your reality, right? Things happening in threes. Let's say seeing certain numbers like 5s, 7s can be warnings sometimes. Either way, whatever it is that people are throwing at you, it's not really going to affect you. It may set you back a little bit, but it's not going to kill you. It's not taking your ass out, okay? You're still going to be standing. Show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. It's time for you to step into your authentic self. The natural world needs you more now than ever. It's time to release negativity. We're raising our vibration, right? That's something else I've been talking about a lot too, right? It's important for you to keep your stress levels down. That's what's funny is everybody's worried about aging and wrinkles and stuff. Yeah, I was just talking about this the other day, y'all. Did you know that hugging a tree lowers your cortisol levels? It grounds you into the earth. It helps with emotional regulation. It's not hocus pocus new age bullshit. Is there science to it? There's a reason why hugging trees way back in the day, like we didn't have medicines and prescriptions and shit. We had to figure it out in the wilderness, you know? Somebody was sad and hugged a tree and it fucking worked. Everybody starts hugging trees. Oh shit, kind of like when the wheel is invented, you know what I'm saying? I know it sounds silly, but if it works, and that's another thing. Why are we listening to those people over there? Who put those people in charge? Their resume is trash. They lied. We know that they lied on that damn resume. They do not deserve to be sitting in that position. Why are we listening to them? Right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I remember sitting in school, y'all. I used to think school was a fucking joke. I'd sit there and watch the teacher, and the teacher didn't even know what they were talking about. And I'm like, great. I felt the need to get up there and go teach the class. I know that sounds so arrogant, but it wasn't arrogance. It was just like, just reading the energy. The teacher didn't know what they were talking about. They didn't even have control of the room. You know, the students getting up, getting down. Like, did you respect teachers like that? No. It was a joke. It was a waste of time. That's another thing, y'all. I get so much flack because I pulled my kids out of the school system about 5 years ago. Right before the sickness happened. It was actually a couple months before the sickness happened. Or I think we were already experiencing it. We just didn't know yet. Something told me to take the kids out of school. Plus the other experiences that was going on with the school. I was on the PTO and I saw too much. And it was like, nope. Not doing this no more. It's part of my awakening. Anyway, where was I going with that? Yeah, but if you're sitting there in your classroom and you're like 10, 11 years old and you're looking at your teacher like they full of shit, like, that's what I was going to tell you with the homeschooling thing. You know, why am I sitting here forcing my kid to sit in a classroom? Why are we expecting children to act like adults and we can't even get it together? Make that make sense. How are we going to stick this child in this chair and make them sit here for 8 hours? And we can't even sit in this chair for 8 hours. No tablets. No social time. We can't even do that. How do we expect them to do it? We're not teaching them that. We're teaching them, do as I say, not as I do. But that's a very narcissistic way of being, you know? We got to check ourselves. And all of us do it from time to time. But it's about being aware and keeping yourself in check. You have the capability to reel it back in and do better. So do it. Right? I'm just here to remind you, if it resonates. Full moon in Sagittarius. See the bigger picture. A lot of y'all are starting to see that. Look at this too. Like that Sagittarian energy. Y'all are getting your eye on the target. You are the archers. You got your eye on this target. And you right on the money. You hitting the nail on the head. Full moon in Leo. Go wild. It's time for you to get back into your primal nature. Listen to your instincts. It's more about reading the energy. and going within, listening to yourself, using your own discernment, and not listen to what everybody else outside of you is saying, because they don't know. Don't nobody have it together. None of us have it figured the fuck out, right? So blind, leading the blind out here into chaos and destruction and more separation. And some of that is needed. Some of it is needed. Maybe not to the extent that it's being done or the way it's being carried out. But there is, y'all. We're coming into a time where there's a lot of chaos, a lot of turmoil, a lot of hardship. You know, we haven't even seen the beginning of it yet. So if you feel like you're here for a higher purpose, even if it's just in a really small way, I don't care if I'm just reaching one person with this reading, with this message. Join me, darling. Join me. And lighten it up in the most cosmic way possible here on this planet, on this realm. All right, y'all. I hope that y'all found a message that resonates with you. Thank y'all so much for spending time with me. If you're catching this live, be sure to check me out over on YouTube. The replay will be posted there if you wanted to go back and watch the beginning of this. If you're on YouTube and you're watching the replay, thank you so much. If you made it this far, be sure to leave your fire emojis in the chat so put you in a drawing for a free reading, tarot reading. All right, and I will see y'all again soon. I love you, I love you, I love you, Starseeds. Don't forget to shine bright, be your authentic self. And if your light ain't irritating anybody's demons, you ain't doing it right. Turn up the heat. All right, y'all. Good light.